All right, everybody, it's finally happening. I'm here with my man Hollis B. This is Willie G. This is Hot Shot Sports Talk, where we take hot shots at main events affecting sports today. Now, we're going to talk about many different subjects. We might hopscotch around, do the old knuckleball here and there. But, we don't swing and miss. That's what we do. We're no Scott Merkel, HRO, HRK, whatever he wants to call himself. But hey.
I miss sometimes.
Oh man, hey, yo, in baseball, what's a good average in baseball?
Well,
I
I'd have
mean,
to say anything. I mean, 400 is
400 is
something good.
amazing. What's a good average in baseball? 285,
I get, yeah, I was gonna say
280?
high twos, low threes is pretty fucking good.
Man, if you're
Pardon my
playing
French.
you're playing tennis and you hit the ball only one out of every four, 1 out of 5, man.
Dude, have you ever
You're not
played
on the
tennis?
circuit. I have
Have you
played.
ever played tennis before?
I have
Oh,
played just a little bit of tennis. It's something I wish I would have played growing up.
because well, that's pretty hard. I used to play we used to play tennis. These girls when I was in high school, they were actually pretty good, and they were playing for state. They went for like state all the years that they played as doubles partners. And me and when we were seniors, we would play them, give them some competition or whatever. They didn't have anybody to play because nobody who plays tennis in a small town in West Texas.
I'm.
Two girls and the guy and the gay guy, and that's it.
That's the
You know.
yeah. I guess that back in the day that was it, huh?
Yeah, that was
Back in
it.
the
But
day
no,
that.
man, those girls, yeah, Lauren and Cameron used to wax our butts, man.
Oh, dude.
That was something else.
Well,
But
the point being is even they wouldn't let you slide with a 1 for 4 on the tennis court.
yeah,
You'd have walked
for
off in
reals.
shame.
Yeah, yeah.
Um. Well, what
But
do you want to get into
well,
first here, man?
what's it? What's the weather looking like up there and where you're at?
Well, I'm up here in Talkeetna right now. It's fairly warm today. Seemed like it got into the low 40s almost when the sun was out. Woke up with some frost, about 30 degrees outside. What about you down in Anchortown?
Um, about the same here in Anchorage. Whereas a little chilly this morning, kind of warmed up, but I don't know, man. This is it's cool to be doing this with you, man. It'd be cool if we were sitting here sipping some bourbon together in the same spot. But hey, man,
You know
good to be
what?
doing it with
Same
somebody.
place, same time at some
Yeah,
point,
there we go.
like
Heck yeah.
there's one to Dave Fish. Thank you, Dave Fish. I'm
Yep.
drinking your bourbon up while I'm house sitting for you.
To the Godfather.
To the Godfather. Mm, mm.
Yeah.
He's probably gonna be pissed I'm drinking it right out of his flask.
Hmm. Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
I don't think that's not a flask. I forget what that is. A
it's
Canada or something.
a decanter.
Decanter. Yeah, there we go.
A fancy
So
word for that stuff.
one one thing, if you want to jump into, I mean, I don't know if the Stros are gonna pull a.
You think they're gonna get this right here?
I don't.
They're
I
down,
honestly
right?
don't. I'm pulling up the scores right now, and they are not. I mean, I thought we were gonna see a repeat of '04 with what Boston did, but man,
That's
there will not be an
they
asterisk
got a shot. It's
on
two
top of
four.
the
They just
asterisk.
put up 2 runs in the eighth right there. They had bases loaded
Well,
with no outs and got 2 runs. So that seems about what bare minimum what you're expecting as a manager is to get 2 runs with bases loaded and no outs,
yeah,
right? It's 2 sacks.
I would agree. They
If
could do it, but I don't know. They don't necessarily have any help in this inning.
I don't know if there's
So.
a trash can big enough to save them this game.
Man,
Yeah, we're going
but
there.
how do you is
We're going
well? How do you
there.
feel about that, man? Like, how do you feel about that?
So
Like, you think
I
that
saw a
if
post
they
today. We were gonna give some credit to Adam Fast on this one, pitcher for the Mandingos. All right, and he put a post out today that said that he could arguably make the case that what the Astros did in their cheating scandal it was much worse than what Pete Rose did, and
well,
yet all of those players are currently playing in the MLB right now.
Well, I agree with that, but I'm also, I mean, that's a whole nother rabbit hole you can get into because I don't think Pete Rose did a damn thing wrong.
I
That's just,
think
I
that
mean, it
there's a little bit
might be
of it.
frowned upon,
I think
but
he
it's, I don't,
he
you
he
know,
touched on the integrity of the game. Is what happened.
yeah,
He's
I could,
there's no way to prove whether he did or did not gamble on the games that he played in. Okay. Uh, he hid it and lied about it for a long time. It's tough to believe a liar when they're coming out with the truth. It's the go cry wolf scenario there.
yeah.
So yeah, I
But no,
mean,
I totally agree with you that what they're, or I would support that argument of what the Astros have
I
done was worse than what Pete Rose did.
I don't think that Pete
Now,
Rose should be like excommunicated from baseball the way he has been. Like that's,
absolutely not,
and I think that
man.
his record should definitely hold up, man. That's Johnny Baseball.
Yeah, dude. That guy, I mean, even when he first started commenting or commentating with what was it Fox Sports or with A-Rod, what news outlet does that sports
Oh
thing where they
goodness.
used to, and where he goes on in there and he's
Yeah,
basically
yeah, yeah.
giving everybody a clinic on why he used a bat as long as it was because he could shorten it up and just starts breaking it down and was like, well, no wonder that dude got 2,000 hits batting right-handed and so many, however it was, he had over 4,000 base hits, and they were both from opposite sides of the plate. It's like, well, no shit, no wonder why he did that, you know. But when he was on there, this was when was this? This was a World Series of, I want to say 2017 or no 2016. I'm sorry. That was when the election was going on, because one of my professors at UAA tried to make the comment that Pete Rose didn't have any business being on there, like commentating at all, because he was shunned from baseball. And I was like, why not? I mean, that was like the best commentating that I've ever seen, in a long time, was Pete Rose getting up there just talking about hitting the ball. And she didn't like my response when, I was, you know, had my opinion on about how it's not, it's frowned upon. It's not like he really did anything all messed up. It's like, yeah, Pete, maybe you should have been out there betting, but you know, it's
Hey,
not like
and
he was.
he's since owned up to it. It seems
Yeah,
like. Uh, let's get into some
but
current baseball. Let's get into the NLCS. That's tied up 3-3 right now. Um,
man, the Braves had a chance. They've had a chance since it was 3-1, and I mean, it's why? How hard is it to close out a 3-1 series? That seems to be like the
dude,
number that no one can close it out, even from basketball with the Clippers, and then
yeah.
now we're rolling into where the Braves can't seal it off, man. And I'm not a Braves hater by any means. I enjoy watching the Braves.
Right.
But like, man, they got so much talent and they got a chance to do it and go back to where they hadn't been in a long, long time, and they just can't freaking seal it up. And the
What,
Dodgers are gonna,
95 or 96 for the Braves?
think so.
Something like
Yeah,
that?
because it was 95 or 96 because that was when the Yanks went on their three-peat or whatever. So I mean, you can fact check me on that, but yeah, it's been a hot minute for Braves fans. So which, hey, congrats to them.
Hmm. Dang, so
You know,
it says we're dropping some frames here in the stream. We'll wait and see what that looks like. I think the live viewers, anybody watching it live right now, will have some buffering issues. Um, but I think once it's all said and done and the video's over, anybody who watches it will be able to watch it in its entirety without any
awesome.
issues.
I mean, it's a learning curve. I know this is definitely popping my cherry, that's
Well,
for
and
sure.
then the thing is too is I can always send over the layout over to you. If your internet's better in Anchorage, which I imagine it is, you probably have the GCI Red plan or something like that.
Yeah, I mean,
And
we've got enough to where I can stream and still have Mason play his whatever he's streaming on his Xbox. He's not here this weekend; he's over at his dad's.
all right.
Um, but yeah, I've been able to use this and whatever. But anyway, that ain't So back to
Back to the NLCS. First
yeah,
of
man.
all,
Hey,
Corey Seager hit a bomb tonight, dude.
yeah. I was
I
listening. I had to listen to the game because I was at work, so I had it there in my headphones and
Now
listening.
I'm a Seager fan because his brother plays for my beloved Mariners, who haven't tasted postseason in 19 years. Haven't
Yep.
won a series in 25 years.
Well,
a playoff series, not a World Series, because we don't even
yeah.
know what those look like.
Oh,
um,
I've
it,
been
it,
one out away of from watching a team win the World Series,
oh
and
my goodness.
I mean I can't. I ain't trying to drop the F bomb, but man, if I ever see Nelson Cruz, I'm just gonna ever in real life, I'm gonna just slap the hell out of you.
I loved watching him play in Seattle. I got a great Nelson Cruz story for you, dude. I get
No, I
tickets and
hate Nelson Cruz.
oh, dude, then this is perfect. This is what we're here for.
Yeah,
All right, so I get tickets in the diamond section behind home plate for a Mariners game, right? Forget who we're playing. I think it's maybe like the Blue Jays or something. And guy comes up. I think it was Robinson Cano batting in front of Nelson Cruz, and Cano gets beamed for it. Like beamed inside pitch. He takes it. He's a left-hander. Takes it off the elbow, And Nelson Cruz in the on deck, and I see him warming up, and he hits his bat. Well, I'm 3 rows directly behind home plate, and I'm like, Nelson, Nelson, because you get their attention with their first name, not their last.
yeah,
And I'm
yeah.
like, Nelson, Nelson, and he looks right up at me. No joke, eye contact, like real eye contact. And I said, make him pay for it. And he gives me a little nod and a wink. And literally, second pitch, he yoked that thing to center field, bro. And we had that connection right before he did that. And I felt like he hit that home run for me. And it was a moment I will never, ever, ever forget.
No,
He made me feel like I was 9 years old again, screaming for autographs. And he just like authenticated everything that I lived for as far as baseball was concerned at that point.
so what was the first Major League Baseball game you ever went to?
Let me see. So the first Major League Baseball game I ever went to was out at old Three Rivers Stadium, in Pittsburgh.
In Pittsburgh?
We had
Okay.
way back in the day, dude, and it was a Cardinals Pirates game. We were out visiting grandparents. I want to say like 7 years old, 6 years old, and my dad took me out to go see the game. And I was already a baseball fan, playing little league and whatnot. And that was amazing. And he saw how much I loved it. And the very next weekend, he took me from we were living in upstate PA or for the summer or whatever. He took me over to Cleveland to go catch an Indians game, which was awesome. Two great old stadiums at the time, and it's
Yeah.
just oh, so much fun, so much fun. What was your first baseball game that you went to?
And I was when me and my family were still living up here in Anchorage, and so we went down to West Texas where my grandparents lived, and we're visiting them, and um,
Who you got there? One
I
second.
stayed in it.
Who you got there?
Oh, it's Wyatt.
Why? Say hey. Come over here and poke your head and say hey to the verse. What's going
Yep.
on, Wyatt?
Oh, yep. He's just coming down to bug me.
Yep. 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 Yeah. Go ahead. I'm
But
sorry
no,
to
I
interrupt.
no man. It was so I was man. This was in '95, and I was down, and I got to stay an extra week. All the family went down to visit our family in Texas, and it was the Abilene area. Why we don't need that light on, son? Yes, sorry.
Wyatt.
Um, and so we went to the Rangers were playing the Angels, and we went back. I stayed with my cousins, and my aunt and uncle lived in Mansfield area, which is Dallas Fort Worth. And so we went and watched the Rangers play the California Angels at the time, and This was Kenny Rogers pitched a perfect game, dude. That was my first ever Major League Baseball game. Was when Kenny Rogers pitched a perfect game against the California Angels in 1995.
So you're absolutely spoiled from the get-go.
Dude, man, that was pretty sweet, man. Rusty Greer was playing center field for the Rangers at the time, and made this freaking. We had seats in center field, like dead center field, where the at the ballpark in Arlington, which you'll see because that's where they're playing the NLCS right now. You'll see the center field has the home run porch, and we were in the cheap seats right behind that porch, and got to see Rusty freaking just make an amazing diving catch. I mean, that was pretty cool, man. You had that was when Bo Jackson was playing for the California Angels back then, and he was
Oh,
playing right
really?
field for him, and that was pretty cool, man. I saw Bo Jackson live.
Oh man, I think so. I was privileged to see a lot of baseball, a lot of live baseball. I played Little League in Mesa, Arizona, and then my travel team, like where we played a lot of our home games at, was right at the same complexes as where they did uh, spring ball for the Cactus League.
Yeah,
And so pretty much like after practices and games and stuff, we'd be right there free watching all these games and talking to players and getting autographs and like I got Mark McGuire. He was playing with the Oakland Athletics, and I got him to autograph his '89 rookie All-Star card.
nice.
Oh my goodness, I was so stoked about that.
So
But
yeah,
I was spoiled. Spent a summer with my old man. He was driving truck coast to coast, and he gets a day off for every week he drives. We drive for 2 weeks, 2 days off, but in between we stop in all these cities in the summertime. It's like,
yeah,
hey, there's a ball game here. Let's go to the ball game while they're unloading the truck. Like, sweet. I was
yeah.
probably 13 when that happened. I think that
I
summer,
know we
25 games.
growing up in Abilene. I mean, it only took it was only 3 hours to get to Dallas, and we'd go, and the Rangers were horrible in the well once they traded A-Rod, um, got rid of him. Uh,
Payrod. As soon as he went to the Rangers, we called him Payrod.
yeah.
He had a great
So we had
team.
some dark years then, but even in the late '90s when the Yankees were on their three-peat run, man, would go anytime they had a series against the Rangers. My dad would would get tickets and go just because it wasn't necessarily about watching the Rangers back then. It was who are they playing and who can you see, because I mean they were horrible, man. They were
Nobody.
garbage,
Yeah, you
and
were listing off
they
players from the Rangers in '95. I had no clue who they were. Rusty, whoever. I had no clue.
yeah. Well, they were actually decent then, and so in '95 they were actually halfway decent, and they weren't that bad. And it was anytime they went on a playoff run, the damn Mariners would kick them out, and so that's why where my I have a little bit of disdain for the Mariners.
Oh, now we're same
But
division. You know,
yeah, no, it's competitive. I mean, but
I
yeah,
think our
man.
division
But
is one of the more competitive ones throughout the
well,
season.
especially since Houston moved to the um, American League. Uh, but yeah, how is that? Have you checked on that game?
Oh God. Oh no, I haven't yet.
Oh,
Um,
yep, nope. Rays got it.
Razor in the World Series.
Yep, Rays are in the
Let's
World
let's
Series.
let's give a little,
Yeah, heck yeah, good,
congratulations
good for
right
them.
there for to the.
Yeah,
It's not an easy task, even in a 60 game series.
no,
You're
not at
still
all. I
playing
mean,
against the best baseball competition in the world, as far as I'm concerned.
yeah,
Uh,
and I mean, they had their chances. I mean, man, I don't know why do you think it's so much harder for a team to like close out a 3-1 series versus a 3-0 series? Like so much easier. Like there's more of a chance for you to come back on a 3-1 series, obviously, than there is 3-0. But I mean, like before tonight, there'd only been one other team that happened, and
I think
and all the
the only reason that somebody would falter is nerves. Or
Yeah.
like let's look at it from the other side is maybe that other side wants it that much more. Both
Yeah.
teams want
Well,
it.
and that
Does
yeah,
that
and
make you
that
grind
one.
more when you're down 3-1? Do you
Well, so you
are
have
you
that one game, and you've already like you're we already beat these dudes once. We can beat them again. I mean, I think that's the mentality you do, and so it's and
I
you just realize like I think once a team goes down 3-0 and realizes the percentages of them coming back, the mental mind warp to
I think all that got thrown
overcome
out the
from that.
window with the Red Sox though.
But they hadn't done it since then.
You're right. You're right. It was the first time
But they're
ever, and then
yeah.
eh,
But they're come close. That's why I was hoping Houston would do it, and then just go make the World Series again, and then of course I got to root for the Astros fans. In that, I was hoping the Astros were gonna win. They would have made the World Series. They would have had a chance, and then they can, all the Astros fans can give the finger and say, are they cheating now? And that whole thing to go back into what we were talking about earlier. Um, was that
maybe they were.
worse? Or I mean, I think what they did was wrong,
Maybe they're still
but I mean it's
cheating.
I mean people been doing that for years now. I've had this argument with other
Can
people.
we
It's
test Altuve already? How does that little guy swing such a big ass freaking piece of lumber?
dude,
That
you
his
put the
baseball is
yeah
his baseball bat's like 3/4 his length.
yeah, and you put it like you throw a pitch at his head and he's gonna put it 500 feet.
Y-
Like
Can we test the guy for something like the X gene, maybe?
pretty sure he goes through the same testings that everybody else does.
Like, like genetically, is he a mutant? Like, guy's got super baseball skills. He can see a fastball. Jeez,
Yeah,
like
but
nobody
dude,
else.
so like knowing now what you know about the how they were what they were doing, like that whole theory when he hit that home run and he comes running in to home plate and they want to rip off his jersey and he has this whole story about how his wife got mad the last time he did it, all this and that.
It
Like,
seemed
you
kind of
you
like
buy that shit, or is it like, did he really have a sensor under there like a buzzer? Like, cause if that's the case, then that's some cheating stuff, man. I mean, that's you know, how are you gonna go? That's a far cry for me hitting a double and then signaling pitches into you at home plate like I've done for years. Like it was great. I could read pitches
that's what
pretty
we're
good,
supposed to
and
do.
if I got on second base, man, hey, I'm telling you what's coming. But I mean, they had they had a whole lot of other things going
How
on.
come you don't do that
So
for me in softball? Is
we don't ever play together. That's why
Oh
we're
yeah.
always playing against each other.
So let's get on Alaska softball, Alaska subject then. Did you play in the super draft?
The men's,
Yeah.
yeah, I did.
Oh, and
I
how'd you
was a
do?
coach.
Oh, you were
I
a
was a coach.
coach.
Yeah.
Oh, so
I
you put the team together.
yeah I drafted a squad. It was my third year doing it.
Oh, okay.
The pals are actually pretty cool. They keep letting me come back and draft teams and do all right. My the team I drafted took fourth. I had drafted a good squad of guys. I mean, it was pretty diverse group of players, and you know, playing with guys from Fairbanks I never played with before, guys from the Valley, and then Anchorage guys. So it was pretty cool.
So
I had a
what
lot of fun,
happens in the
man.
super draft? Like I've never been involved with one. Everybody's name is just in a pool with their position, or do you already know, or you just draft everybody and you're like, well, you go here, 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 and here, and here, or like,
So when you register, like you can put your resume on there. I mean, they have. I'm not saying resume, but I mean it's they ask you what positions you played, what different things that you've done, what teams you played on. But for the most part, man, I mean, if you're the guys coaching know a lot of people that play, there's just a lot of different things that go on. So I mean, if you're coaching, you know the players, but then if you don't know the players, then they'll put like what the highest level they've played, so that way you can go off what positions they have, just different things. Um, and then this year was different, man, because it was pushed back. due to COVID because normally it happens the first weekend in May, and then this week or this year it didn't happen until like the third week in July. So this was the first year that we actually did a draft online, kind of like basically your fantasy draft or whatever. So if they didn't have a timer, and then it just it was a lot different, man. Did you leave me, Will?
No, I'm still here.
Oh, you're breaking up. But no, so the draft thing, man, that was a different aspect, and which could lead in a whole different conversation. But
Well, I
the
was worried.
super
I
draft,
was interested because I've never been involved, and I was like, man, if I go down there, like they can put me in right field. Cause I mean, I'll play it and I'll play it well, probably more better than any
no, because
D or like E right fielder could probably play it. But uh, and like I would want to pitch in the super draft. Like I wouldn't want to, but there's probably like a 30 pitchers lined up for the super draft. You know what I mean?
it depends. I mean, being somebody that can pitch is kind of you know easy for me to be all right and build off of somebody else because if whoever I draft to pitch, if they're not doing it good, then I can just pitch. But you know, but anyway, but I mean, I would ideally I would like to draft a good pitcher, and then that way I could play first or play somewhere else that I normally wouldn't play if
Right. Well, and
if
that's the
I got
thing
a
is I
solid
could
pitcher.
pretty much
But
play anywhere in the infield except for first base. I'm not not
yeah, no, but
this
I mean it's a very different. I mean it's a pretty cool tournament, man. It's I've had fun every time I've done it. I played 1 year as a player, and then the next year I mean I asked to be a coach, and I mean knowing a lot of the as many of the people that I do, that play in lower levels, that's where it's at because everybody knows all
Ay,
the big, the well endowed swinging sons of guns. I mean, I mean, you got everybody knows the
everybody
guys that are
knows who the
gonna go
ballers
out there
are, the
and
restricted
ball
list
out. Yeah,
players. Yeah.
exactly. So it's like once those first rounds are done, then you go into the later rounds where nobody knows who anybody is, and it's nice to know some ballers that play men's D, some even I I didn't participate in the co-ed super draft, which I kind of regret, but it was just the way that it went. Um, the kids are running in here, but the co-ed super draft was pretty cool because it's kind of similar deal, and I just saw some of the guys that participated in that, the ones that knew the lower level players
Did
fared
better.
out better. Yeah,
Right. I don't know. I see
but
myself probably like in a super draft, all men super draft. I see myself going like fifth, sixth round, somewhere around there.
pretty
So
high, Will.
that's where I feel that's high.
Yeah,
You can get what, 10 players, so 12 draft picks?
yeah,
Yeah, I should be in the fucking top 50% in this state. I believe that.
bold statement there, Cotton.
Well,
But no, it's
how
fun. I
many
mean,
other people you know
I'd say
hitting 700 this
well,
year?
the one thing that makes me mad is like everybody always picks up my buddies that I want to play with because they're
Yeah.
good players and whatnot, and so then I gotta rely on
Who's this guy still
knowing
down
who else
here?
is playing.
Jericho? What's his? What's he? Who's
Yeah.
this guy?
Oh man. Well, so we've discussed. I'm sure not everybody pays attention to slow pitch softball up here in Alaska. I mean, as much as I'd love to talk about it.
Right.
Um,
Well, it's just our first episode. Our first episode here. The only people gonna be watching this are people that know and want to hear us
yeah,
talk about some stupid shit.
for real.
They want to get the juicy on who you don't like in AK softball. Who 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 would you give me one person? You don't even have to give a reason if you don't want to. One person you will never draft on your super draft team.
That's pretty easy. Mike
Okay.
Kennedy.
Mike Kennedy? Who
That's it.
who's Mike Kennedy?
Is dude I used to play softball with, and that's it. We'll just leave it at that.
Oh
I ain't
man.
trying to. I ain't trying to be too. But he knows it.
Hey.
I mean, that's it. Yeah, we'll just. He knows it. There's a lot of the people that know that
Oh
too, and I
man.
mean,
Yeah, I'm
I used
trying
to.
to
You know
think.
what? I'll be nice. I mean, and give old dude a shout out, man. I mean, I used to say the same thing about Matt Smith. Um,
Okay.
and then me and him made it right this past summer, and a lot of people were giving me a hard time because I had told them that you would never see me playing with him,
I think
and
that that's
and then
perfectly
I mean, and
acceptable.
there, well, and I mean, it was what it was, and it's ain't nobody's business of why we had our falling out. I mean, we whatever, but we started, we made it right together. I hadn't talked to him in a hot minute, and then I think I played more with him this summer than I'd ever had in my entire ever since I met him.
Right.
But yeah, no, me and Matt are cool, man. It's
See,
but
here's one to bet. I think for me,
yeah,
if I had to pick somebody I wouldn't draft, it would probably be Jimmy. We're not gonna say anymore. Just we all know.
Mm.
Probably be Jimmy.
So freaking Mike Tyson
Oh yeah, let's get on some Mike
is
Tyson.
about to freaking fight Roy Jones Jr. in
I
when is
I
that fight? I'm gonna have to look
I
at it.
thought it was
I
supposed
think
to
it's
be the
November.
29th of
Well,
November.
they were talking
They
about it,
pushed
and
it
so
back.
if you haven't, they did actually, and they also changed they changed the round times from
Well,
3 minutes to 2 minutes.
yeah,
So
well, so
hang on.
Roy Jones was just on Joe Rogan.
Yes, he was,
He just did
and
a
I
big
was gonna say,
interview on Joe Rogan. I watched parts of
yeah,
it,
he did.
and
I listened to the whole thing, and it
he
was
was
awesome.
sounding off about how Mike Tyson's camp changed everything, and that they wanted to be more of a promotional for Tyson's
Well, now
fight
hold
league or
on.
whatever.
He said part of it was his camp did that, but it was the World Boxing Federation or something of that nature was the one that came in, and it wasn't Tyson's camp that changed the round limit. It
They were
was
like,
the
well, we're not
boxing.
going to sanction this.
Well, it's not. It's an unsanctioned fight. It's a exhibition fight.
Yeah, then let them go
So
fight each other. Who cares?
that's what that's what Roy was complaining about on Rogan, and I know I know you heard that, but
Let them fight, man. Like, I want to
yeah.
see this.
But
I don't think Roy Jones Jr. stands a fucking chance. Did you see Tyson training? Did you see him
have you seen
train?
Roy? Did you not like pay attention to that podcast of where Roy Jones was talking about different things
I know.
and how he's
I
been
told you.
training
I only caught
and
small pieces and parts of it.
okay, yeah, no, man, I don't think it's.
I heard. Well, I did hear him
I've watched
talking
it.
about how he thinks Mike's not right there, and
Yeah,
he
well,
he
he wasn't saying that. He was just like he was saying about how like he stayed with it this whole time that he's been doing whatever. Roy Jones has still been like training, like he hasn't stopped. Like
I
like
think what I'm getting at is the
he
body
he
types.
hasn't fight trained, but no, yes, I saw
Mike
that.
Tyson looks like Mike Tyson from
He looks angry. He looks
1989,
angry. Yeah, he looks
only
freaking
with gray
angry, and
hair and a face tattoo.
he is pissed. He is
He
pissed.
just wants to
And
hit a
and uh,
person.
and now he's not taking his vitamins like he normally would.
Yeah, it's
You know
normal
what I mean?
vitamins.
So
Yeah.
he's being sober. He's laying off his extracurricular stuff. So he's not doing that. So
Well, in the last few years,
he's
though,
having to channel his
people
frustration.
don't know that Mike Tyson's been like Buddhist monk training or something like that. He's been doing MMA.
Yeah.
He's an enlightened being now. He's not this angry, crazy person, rapist anymore.
Oh man, don't bring that up in an interview and see how long it lasts.
See how many teeth you leave with?
Yeah.
Shit.
No,
But
but no, just but listening to that, so I did you catch the one with that Rogan did with Tyson? Oh man. probably about a month or a month and a half ago.
I want to say I did, but I can't remember the exact bits of it. I don't know, honestly, to tell you the truth.
No, and it wasn't. I mean, he didn't really necessarily talk about the fight, about his fighting and stuff. I mean, he's getting it. He's ready. Like he wants to fight, but it was like, man, I think Roy Jones Jr. sounds a lot more mentally more prepared, ready. But then again, Tyson's crazy, man. He's a freaking lunatic. Like
I
he's
think it's also
like he's
different.
just
Mike Tyson he didn't take blows for the last 20 years in his head.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
But well, but where I was going with that is where what Roy Jones Jr. talks about in he opens up about how he's been training these young kids like he's there in a gym, he's training kids, and the only way for him to train these kids properly is to stay in shape and just be ready to go about it. Like he's still in shape, he's doing whatever. He's you know he
So
wasn't on
would you
the
say
fighting
you're
routine.
in the Jones Jr. camp then? Are you gonna pick him for your fighter?
Man, I'm gonna have to go with Roy Jones in this,
Uh,
man.
I think
I
I'm
mean,
taking Mike Tyson.
dude, hey, well,
I wish I could
I'm not,
flash a little
I'm not
leather.
gonna, dude, I'm not gonna fucking. Oh, man, I keep dropping the F bomb, and I'm trying hard, dude. All
Well,
right, I can't.
it's
I think that's
fine.
number two.
We're not paid yet. Once we're paid,
Yeah,
you
no,
can't say
that's
fuck
a
anymore.
yeah.
uh, we're
Anyway,
not quite there.
I'm not doing no damn bet like we did when
I was getting there.
we're
I
not doing
almost put
the
that as the
Cowboys Packers.
picture up here.
Man, well, I
I
took the
think you might have
picture.
quit on the first one if I'd have made that your picture.
Man, I came in here with I was gonna have a setup in the room. I had to rep the Cowboys with the I got one star going, and then I had to throw up the Spurs. But man, I had all these things, and then uh, couldn't set up the couldn't set up the back wall.
Right.
But
I'm sitting here. I think that's kind of why my camera's a little off right now, is I don't have a solid background, so it's not
well,
just
I
focusing
haven't
on
even
me.
looked at I haven't even looked at the stream yet.
I
Um,
posted it on
but
my Facebook.
yeah, I I'm
Um,
sorry.
eh.
Well,
Oh,
but
it's all good. You have to
I was
subscribe
thinking it
to
looked
us.
more like it looks more like a ripoff of the freaking I thought you were gonna the the goon. You know
Oh, yeah, it
the
does
dude
kind
that
of.
does his show. And he calls in like the dude calls in and like they get shut off the air. Like that seeing the backdrop that you had just reminded just I had a flashback of
Oh,
that.
man.
I was like, oh man, I'm gonna have
That's a
to.
great movie, dude. That's a
Oh, it's a
great
freaking
movie.
awesome movie. That made
The
me love
Goon.
hockey, and I'm not even a hockey fan, man. I mean, if we get on, if we ever do discuss hockey on here, man, I'll leave it up to you,
Oh, we got hockey will be a
man.
subject at some point. I mean, you got there's got to be things about hockey you like. Even though you don't know much about hockey, when you
Yeah,
see Alexander Ovechkin or Sidney Crosby go through four people and then put
yeah.
a puck in the back of the net, you can appreciate it. I'm sure you can appreciate how damn hard that shit is.
But no, I definitely respect the game. I just
Uh,
I when I was really getting into hockey, when I grew up here in the 80s and 90s, I skated a lot and I did my thing, but then I moved and was just kind of getting into hockey. My parents didn't want to put us into a lot of programs up here, and hockey was freaking expensive. It's
expensive.
expensive now. It was very expensive to play even back then. So I mean, I played a lot of pond hockey. I could skate pretty good, but when we went back down to Abilene area, the closest ice rink was like uh, 8 hours away. So it's not like
Ooh.
we could really go skate, you know. So
Yeah, no,
yeah,
no, that doesn't happen.
but
That
yeah, no,
just doesn't
I
happen.
respect the game. I got it, but I can't if I want to hold it down in a conversation of hockey talk. I can't do it. I respect the game. I respect the people that play it. I mean, you can definitely I see it. Playing the softball side, like how I know somebody that I can tell that they're a hockey player too. when
Oh
I
yeah.
play against them in a game or do whatever. See how they go about business, how they uh,
Dude.
talk with the
You
talk
know,
with their teammates, their players, and the officials. I mean, you know who hockey players are.
dude, big Tim Popowski. You know Tim Popowski, Big Pop, plays for the Brew Crew.
Yes. Yeah.
He plays hockey. Could you imagine looking over at that dude in some pads?
And no.
And
And
on
then
ice skates, like, dude, yeah, okay, I get it. Yeah, lineman, college, cool, bro, I get that. You're fucking agile, fast, you think well, quick on your feet. On skates, like, fuck, dude, I'm scared. Like,
there's a lot of dudes that are like that. Um,
there's no dudes like that in the NHL, dude. There's nobody Tim Popowski
no.
size in the
Yeah.
NHL.
See,
You know?
that's funny. I call him Big Pop. See, that's the first time I've ever known his real given name.
Yeah,
Like I
Tim
just
Tim
know him as Big
Popowski.
Pop.
Yeah, what a
Okay. I'm
great
gonna say
last name, dude. Like, how'd
yeah,
you not
and
make
that's
the
why
N? You should have made
that's
the
why he goes by
NFL
Big
just on your
Pop.
name alone, bro.
Yeah,
Just on your name alone, you should have been in the NFL.
yeah.
Tim Popowski. Yeah, that's Popowski. Go in there, get him, kid.
Dude
Oh
he's a
man,
freaking monster.
he's
So how were
big.
your so how were your what were your thoughts on how the freaking NBA went as
Tell
far
you
as
the
like the
truth,
the playoff bubble, how they did things, and overall
I
just
was
the
in
overall
favor.
quality of watching the how it went.
I was in favor of the way they did the bubble. They were able to do a bubble the way they did because what you have a maximum of what 16 people that need to be on a bench or near a bench. Coach,
And they
assist,
spread it out. They did it.
coach,
Yeah,
coach, assistant coach, 8 to
they had their
10
bench.
players,
They
and
they had
three
their
trainers,
benches.
right?
They had their benches. Yeah, they had their benches spread out more luxurious than the freaking theater seats at Diamond and Tacotney right now.
Oof, and those are
You
good.
know what I'm saying? Those NBA players look like they were out there about to watch a
You
movie
do, but they made them pay
in a
for their
theater.
own room service. The
Oh,
NBA said you pay for your own room service.
well,
Who was it? Who did I see? Was it Dwayne Wade? Who was it? Somebody left like a $9,000 tip.
oh, that was Russell Westbrook when he
Westbrook.
was when he was leaving
Yep, left a
when
huge
Houston.
old fat tip. Like,
Yeah,
bless you, man.
right after Houston shit the bed.
You can't
But
dress for shit, but man, you're a good tipper.
good for him, man. I mean,
Oh
you know
yeah.
what? Good for him.
Oh, I
I
believe
mean,
it. Um,
and I mean, the way man, Russell Westbrook, he's a good ball player, and he's just very competitive, and I think, man, I would be very happy to see him come play for the Spurs. I'd be very very happy,
um,
but I'm also happy watching him
I
play
hate to break it to
against the
you.
Spurs.
I haven't watched much basketball. Ruger, Ruger, chill. Some of Dave Fish's canine
Willie's got the kids, and or
dog
I've got
duty.
the kids, and Willie's got the
Look
dogs
at
in the
this
back.
big ass motherfucking trucker, dude. He's huge. Ruger, come here. Hey, dude, I'm
Yeah.
sitting down. Look at this. It's up to
So
my
I'm in there moving
chest.
around. Yeah,
Um, but
big ass dog.
so I was a OKC fan. Because I was in Seattle the last year that Durant was there,
Yeah,
and the Sonics were
yeah. And
there,
they used to they were the Sonics. Yeah, back
and
when Ben Baker, you had
dude,
Ben Baker,
we had
and
season tickets were cheap. I got them. I bought them, and when they left, I was like, okay, I'm gonna be an OKC fan. I saw these players. I watched Durantula dunk on people,
yeah,
dude, doing crazy things. It's skinny, tall, crazy motherfucker, just doing things, right? And they go down to OKC. We're doing good, and Golden State all of a sudden out of nowhere has a team, and we can't get past them. And I'm like, okay, I'm doing it, and I buy that black Durant jersey, OKC. Durant jersey, dude. That sweet blackness. Like right before that postseason started, and we lost, and he went to Golden State, and I pretty much was sitting on a $130 jersey of a player I absolutely despised, who could have stayed, got paid more. He took less money to go there and dick off, you know?
Sorry, I had to stand up and look because we had
Yeah.
something in our living room, and we actually had one of Mason's old Durant jerseys that he got when he was like Wyatt's age, when he
Oh,
was playing for OKC. Like, and I
dude.
think Mason might have been 9 or 10, so he was a
I
couple years older
and
than Wyatt. But
so when that
we still had
happened,
that. We had that over there chilling.
I
I'm
was just
surprised I
like
haven't burned it yet.
The NBA's dead to me. You know, nobody really wants
Yeah,
to. That one hurt. It stung. I told myself until Seattle gets a team back, you know, it'll be our closest for me to be able to go catch games. Um, unless Anchorage ever gets a team. uh,
we ain't getting no professional sports up here.
we almost
But
had arena
man,
football. Almost had arena football.
but to stay on this NBA bubble topic, man, I liked how they did it. I think they have done a very good job of it because now you have, the criticism of the NFL of how their season's going right now, and
13
they've
players in the
had positive,
Jags.
yeah, positive uh, cases come up. Whereas how the NBA did it, they did the bubble, they did their thing, and they had zero uh, positive tests once they implemented that bubble scheme. I mean, zero.
I don't think that's
They were able to.
doable for other sports, though, man. That's what I'm
No, man, it's
saying.
not. And well, and the
Because of the
NBA's
amount
or
of
the
people.
NFL's not gonna do it because they're all wanting revenue for their state. Whoever's gonna allow fans in their stadiums, they want to have their games there. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, and so how do you? I mean, what do you? I know your feelings about the pandemic and all that mess. I mean,
I would
do
have
you
been in
agree
favor
with
of
them?
not having the season to begin with. Why even try it? And at least not until we shut this thing down, in my opinion, to where we're not having 1,000 people contract. You know, like 1,000 people are dying a day right now, on
I don't
average.
I don't know about all that, but
By the end of this year, we'll
has it
have.
has it really been like a big deal for them to open like Kansas City? They're allowing fans in their stadium.
Right,
LA
we don't have
Galaxy's
any
allowing.
number. The problem is
I
we
mean,
don't
so
have
is
any
it really
tracing,
is it
or
really hurting?
we don't know because there's fans in the stadium that are all leaving at the same time and coming at the same time, and there's no tailgating. But they're entering the stadium unless they're all staying 6 feet apart. What are they doing at concessions or in the bathroom? Is there an attendant making sure everybody's pissing 6 feet away from each other?
Of
You,
course, none of that shit is happening because I think it was like one of the it might have been like the Monday Night Football game that the Chiefs played where they actually had fans in the stadium. But so it's one thing to try and do the social distancing or try and limit the capacity of where you're having this event, but they had like everybody just crammed into one spot and they're all like together, so there's no social distancing there. So trying to limit the capacity of your stadium really was ineffective because of how they had it. They just, so they're limiting how many people they let into the stadium, but they're corralling them into one spot and everybody's cheering. They're all standing together. There's no social distancing. If you're gonna do it that way, then do it the right way. All right. Do I really don't agree that we should have shut the system down. I think you should still be out there, maybe not full capacity of stadiums, but I don't know. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, us arguing about our views on the pandemic isn't going to help with interest in sports.
no,
But
but is there a way that we move forward to where everybody is where we don't have to worry ever again
Well, well,
about
but
this?
where I'm going is don't freaking if you're gonna open it up and limit it and try and you know push this on to where we can move past it, don't freaking don't cram everybody together in one section. All right, we're gonna limit our capacity, but we're gonna only open these sections. Well, spread everybody out. Don't just put
Right.
them in one section to where they're gonna come together and stand up and totally just discredit what you're trying to do. I mean, that's just retarded. I mean, it's very retroactive. I mean,
I feel like nothing's getting done right now nationally until this election's over.
well,
Just as far as our people are concerned in general, but that's not a sports topic.
nope, it's not. It's
But if we were talking about COVID and sports, I did get a chance to watch a little bit of hockey, in-state hockey, today.
nice.
I watched
Who'd you watch it on?
Alpha Sierra's stream. Did you see
Yeah,
that pop up?
I saw you tag me in that. Yeah.
Yeah, so Sierra Madden was streaming. She was watching Zeke, I believe it's her kid, play.
Where were the
Or boyfriend's kid, I
are
have no
they
idea. They're
are they playing
U16.
down in Kenai?
Yeah, yeah, the
Yeah.
KPHA. And I was asking some questions, and a friend of hers, Naomi P, said she got a kid that plays U10 at the KPHA, and it's just an in-house league, and they actually started early, but all high school hockey is postponed as of right now.
Oh,
Yeah. But they got a chance to start early, the U10, which I'd imagine because the rinks want revenue, the rinks want money. Like, get these kids in here. We're not making any money without kids in here, you know. So the U10 started early, and she said that there wasn't any setbacks or anything like that of the season from COVID, with the exception of high school hockey.
yeah, but they uh was that setback that you're talking about? Was that high school hockey or was it
High school hockey.
what they? Okay.
I don't know if it was a state like mandated no high school sports, but isn't there high school football going on right now?
Yeah, they've actually there I yes, it's currently going on right now. But they're actually discussing about shutting it down because of recent issues that are going on, and it's man, I'm, I don't know, man. I don't feel if you're gonna have uh, this remote distance learning for school, I don't think you should actually have high school sports. But you know,
I fully agree with you. I fully agree with you.
I mean,
Um,
if it's safe enough to have high school sports, we should be letting our kids go to school.
I
Is my opinion.
I think here in
Um,
Alaska we're in a different, unique bubble, quote unquote, because
yeah,
of where we're at. We don't have the crazy COVID epidemic that the rest of the United States is going through.
yeah.
We really don't. We're not we don't have the crazy amount of cases per capita. We're just not it's just not happening to us like that. You
Well, it
know what I
needs to
mean?
be. It just treat it like we would the flu. I mean,
I don't know if we
is my
can.
opinion. I mean,
It kills more people than the flu is the problem.
I know it's different, but you still have to take those same precautions, man. I mean, I mean, we're going down a rabbit hole that we shouldn't,
People don't
and
even take
altering.
precautions for the flu though. They took
No,
zero. They've
exactly.
taken zero. People are skeptical about getting a flu vaccine each year.
So imagine these kids going through this as someone that played high school sports when I was a kid and got the flu, got sick as shit, and man, I never, even especially when I was a senior in high school. and you have a freaking you know you, basketball season, and you have